Halo Combat Evolved. Is it any good? My story with Halo was basically non-existent. I'm originally from Brazil, where the first Xbox was never a thing. The PlayStation 2 dominated the market with a cheaper solution due to the rampant piracy during that period, and the GameCube was the only option for the Nintendo fans. I once tried to run the PC version in 2003 without success, as my setup at the time was not up to specs. It took me until the Xbox 360 and Halo 3 for me to first experience the series, but that's a story for another video. Now, it's 2023, the year when, after skipping the Xbox One generation, I finally played the game, as I bought an Xbox Series X with 2 years of Game Pass. So, about the game. Halo Combat Evolved was released for the original Xbox back in 2001 and later ported to PC in 2003. It tells the story of John 117, also known as Master Chief, a Spartan who is awoken in the middle of the attack against the Pillar of Autumn. The attackers are a group of religious alien races known as the Covenant, who are hunting the humans. In order to prevent the Covenant from finding Earth, Master Chief is entrusted with Cortana, a special AI carrying the knowledge of the planet's location, as well as knowledge about the human race. Now, the Spartan has to protect Cortana, stop the Covenant, and figure out what Halo is. During his journey, Master Chief will fight a lot of different aliens, including the Flood, a flesh-consuming plague that takes the place of its victims. When playing older games, you have to consider the period they were released. Although FPS was a very popular genre on PC, we had just a few successful examples on consoles. Previous to Halo, the greatest console FPS was probably GoldenEye 007 on the Nintendo 64, which aged like milk. The first Halo game carried a lot of issues from that time, but it also brought a lot of improvements and changed how the genre was made for the consoles. Starting with the low points. The jumps is what I first noticed playing the game, as you don't have much control over it. It doesn't matter how long you press the button, Master Chief will always go up with the same strength. You don't have any control mid-jump, but that's not such a bad thing. The worst part is the feeling of floating in air like if you were on the moon. A lot of the maps of the game are also repeated a lot, getting worse and worse as the story progresses. I don't know how many identical corridors and rooms I went through in the final chapters of the game, and I bet I spent hours lost in mazes of dull-looking walls.
I guess I'm going through the right way. I'm again back on that scenario where every single part of the stages looked the same.
Driving the Warhog is also a disaster. The controls are terrible and I consider it to be the final boss of the game. But the worst issue for me is the Flood. These enemies are supposed to be scary, the terror behind all what happened in the game, the reason why Halo was built in the first place. They were supposed to bring fear to the players simply by mentioning their name. Instead, the constant and unrelenting nature of their attack, added by the ridiculous number of spawned enemies at all times, made me feel more bothered and tired than fearful of their existence. But of course, Halo also brought a lot of positive changes to FPS games on consoles. Probably the main one is spreading the use of dual analog sticks as the default way to play this kind of game. It's not the first time it is used. This was already seen in Alien Resurrection for the original PlayStation, but it was so perfectly implemented that changed the way these games are played. The design of characters are so iconic that a lot of games utilize similar ones. Whitley from Portal 2 and Ghost from Destiny seems to be clearly inspired by 343 Guilty Spark. Cortana also became so popular that Microsoft used the character's name as their AIs. the story, as simplistic as it is, also influenced a lot of future sci-fi endeavors in the game industry. It is not too long, and there are lots of surprises for newcomers to the franchise. Halo Combat Evolved was an awesome surprise for me. As I've always been playing Nintendo and Sony's, I've missed a lot of Microsoft games. I always kept myself away from all Halo-related things, but this game started to change my mind. It is not a perfect game. A lot of early 2000s FPS tropes are here, from the maze-looking environments to the hyper-militarization of its narrative. But if you've grown with games from that era, it's impossible to play Halo and not feel all the evolution this game brought to the table. So, is Halo Combat Evolved good? Yes, definitely. Just be prepared to go through a very early 2000s FPS game. Thank you for watching the video, I hope you enjoyed it. I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday and Fridays, so if you want to join me, feel free to do so. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment if you want to. I hope you have a great rest of your day and see you all in the next video.